the 1st of August 2012, the Class 390 Pendolino was released for Train Simulator. The model was produced by Ben Laws and published by Dovetail Games. Over the years, this model has had quite a mixed reception. Whilst the model looked perfectly acceptable, the train did have a number of issues in the way that it handled. In terms of driving, the traction brake controller wasn't properly calibrated, the physics were not correct, and in a world before super elevation, it was virtually impossible to do a full run of the West Coast Mainline North route without exceeding passenger comfort levels. The running sounds were also a bit of a mixed bag, and there was some criticism about the lack of Virgin Trains livery. The latter is, of course, understandable when a TOC is not willing to let you use their branding commercially. In my opinion, I quite liked the fictional liveries, but some may disagree. 6 years and 1 license agreement later, Dovetail Games released a more up-to-date version of the train. This pack costs £14.99 and is marketed as part of the Pro Range DLC. Pro Range denotes that the train has advanced features. The Class 390s are electric multiple units and were originally constructed by Alstom between 2001 and 2004. The first of these entered service in 2002, and they eventually replaced the Class 86, 87 and 90 electric locomotives on the West Coast Main Line. Between 2009 and 2012, 4 more sets were ordered in 11-car formation, alongside 62 extra cars to extend the formation of trains that were originally 9 cars in length. The Class 390 employs a tilting Pendolino technology that was developed by Fiat in Italy. Tilting allows the train to take curves at higher speeds, safer than non-tilting stock. With this in mind, the 390s were designed to run at speeds of up to 140 miles an hour. Due to signalling limitations, however, they only achieve a maximum speed of 125 miles an hour. At a glance, the external model looks quite nice and definitely sleeker than the original model. The textures are also very high in quality, though upon closer inspection, I don't like how dark the windows are. Yes, they are dark in real life, but not dark enough that you can't see inside. Also, when the doors open, the additional step does not deploy. Inside, the cab is very good. When compared to the original cab, there are more instruments visible and the positioning of the camera looks more natural to the driver's viewpoint, especially when you can alter the game's field of view to your liking. The only thing I don't really like is that both the head and instrument lights look a bit too bright. Like the cab, the passenger view also has some nice attention to detail. That said, however, I didn't have any issue with the passenger view on the previous model, as that had some nice details as well. The train is quite simple to drive. You drive it using the traction brake controller, with A for acceleration and D for deceleration and braking. To move the train, simply put it into gear, acknowledge all safety systems and drive away. When compared to the old train, the TBC is notched correctly and the physics do feel better. In terms of functionality, the 390 includes the usual features such as working lights, wipers, automatic warning system, driver reminder appliance and vigilance device. The train also features a speed set function, which is turned on and off with Control and C. When active, the speed set will help to keep the train at a constant speed. This comes in handy when driving at high speed for an extended period of time. Additionally, the train also features the ability to tilt, individually control the front and rear pantograph, and has onboard speed supervision. Incidentally, the safety alarms can be heard from any viewpoint and are all acknowledged with Q. In terms of sounds, they have largely been recycled from the original pack. That said, we do have new sounds for the horn and the relevant safety alarms. The train sounds nice and quiet when driving from the cab and sitting inside the passenger view, and overall there's a decent sense of movement. Externally, the train sounds underwhelming, most notably when passing the camera at speed. Whilst the horn sounds much better than the previous model, it's very loud, and the same can also be said for the safety alarms. There's also barely any of that high-speed whine that the Pendolinos are known for. Whilst not perfect, I do however think that these sounds are acceptable and not completely terrible. I believe that the scenarios are fictional, but DTG have made good use of the default stock. It's worth noting that Thompson Interactive, the developers of this route, currently do not allow people to create revenue-earning content for this route without prior permission, so Dovetail have had to acquire the necessary derogation. It's also worth noting that this route is resource intensive, so don't expect a smooth experience. As I always state in these reviews, however, your mileage depends on your setup. If you would like to improve the driving experience for a further £6.99, why not purchase this sound pack from Armstrong Powerhouse? Overall, the running sounds have more definition behind them and create a better sense of movement. Tweaks have also been made to the physics and controls, making the train much nicer to drive. AP have also disabled the scripting of AI trains to help reduce the lag that the train seems to cause. This pack also comes with a scenario for the West Coast Main Line over Shap add-on, where you take the train from Preston to Carlisle, with 2 stops along the way at Lancaster and Penrith. Do note that additional content is required for the scenario to function as intended. Overall, this particular Class 390 does offer some improvements over its predecessor. Whilst the default version is perfectly acceptable to drive, I don't think that it is worth full price given some of the caveats it has, and the fact that it can be made better with the AP sound pack. It is of course completely up to you. However, I would still recommend getting this model if you have an interest in running high-speed passenger trains on the West Coast Main Line. Thanks for watching this review. Please feel free to rate and comment down below. If you would like to keep up to date on the videos that I post, why not subscribe and ring YouTube's notification bell so you don't miss an update. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching and take care.